So Oracle's latest Fusion HCM update, Release 26B, is here. And it's a pretty big deal because it's rolling out a whole new suite of AI agents that are genuinely set to change how HR functions. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what these new agents do, and maybe more importantly, what they mean for the future of human resources. Let's get right into it.
We've structured this overview into 6 key areas. We'll start with the core employee experience, then move to compensation and payroll, talent and performance, learning and skills, recruiting and mobility, and we'll finish up with core HR operations.
All right, first up, the core employee experience. Now, these agents are all about those everyday interactions that every single employee has with the HR system. The goal here is pretty simple. Make those essential tasks as smooth and seamless as possible. Remove the friction from the day-to-day.
Let's take leave management as a perfect example of how this works. For employees, you have things like the time off assistant or the leave policy advisor, which give them instant answers and help. But for managers, the absence analyst is really the standout. It pulls all pending requests into one single view with clear contextual actions. That right there is a huge time saver.
And that focus on experience carries over here. We're seeing agents that help demystify benefits by actually interpreting policy documents and helping employees compare their options. On the administrative side, something like the court order intake assistant, well, that's a powerful example of AI automating a very complex, very sensitive workflow. That's a huge win for both accuracy and efficiency. And of course, in time and labor, agents are there to help managers keep on top of time cards and catch any exceptions nice and early.
Okay, let's move on and talk about compensation and payroll. Now, these are areas where precision is, well, it's absolutely non-negotiable, isn't it? So the AI agents here are really focused on two things: delivering data-driven insights and ensuring strict compliance. What's interesting here is the focus on empowering both managers and employees. The compensation advisor, for example, gives managers the hard data they need to make fair, informed decisions about their team's pay. And at the same time, agents like the personal contributions assistant or the perks analyst provide employees with self-service tools to manage their own finances and understand their total rewards package.
In payroll, it's all about efficiency and clarity. So you have the payroll summary analyst helping administrators validate results quickly, while the pay policy advisor can offer instant guidance on complicated payrolls. And for employees, the pay analyst is really crucial because it can clarify details right on their pay slips, which helps reduce confusion and cuts down on all those support questions to HR.
All right, now we're moving into talent and performance management. This group of agents is designed to support the entire talent lifecycle. Everything from setting goals and conducting reviews, all the way to the truly strategic work, like identifying and developing the next generation of leaders.
The key theme here is really manager enablement. Agents like the Team Goals Assistant and the Performance Evaluation Assistant automate a lot of the tracking and data retrieval. But the Performance Rating Calibration Assistant is especially powerful. It analyzes broad talent signals to suggest fair and consistent ratings, which really helps managers with that often difficult task of calibration.
On the more strategic side of talent, these agents are less about daily tasks and much more about the long-term vision. The Succession Planning Advisor, for instance, actively helps managers identify not just critical talent, but also potential successors. This is all about ensuring leadership continuity and building a really robust talent pipeline for the future.
Now for our fourth section, which covers learning and skills, I think we can all agree that in today's environment, continuous development is absolutely essential for both the individual and the company. So these AI agents are built to help everyone identify skill gaps and then connect them to the right learning opportunities.
This is really a set of agents with a dual function. On one hand, for the employee, you have the learning tutor and the skill recommendation agent, which personalize their growth journey. But for the organization, the skill normalization agent is critical. It evaluates and standardizes the company's skill library. Why does that matter? It ensures the data is clean and consistent, which is fundamental for any kind of strategic workforce planning.
So now we come to recruiting and mobility, which is one of the largest and most complex areas. The agents here are set to transform the entire process, from a candidate's very first interaction with your company, all the way to how your existing employees can find new opportunities internally.
This first group really focuses on that external candidate experience. The job fit agent helps candidates self-assess how well they align with a role. That creates a better experience and also leads to more qualified applicants. And behind the scenes, you have the resume parser and screening advisor automating some very tedious tasks, which frees up recruiters to focus on what they do best, actually engaging with top talent. So,
That covers the external side of things, but attracting talent is only half the battle. This brings up a really important question. How does AI help companies develop and, more importantly, retain the talent they already have?
And here is the answer. These agents are focused internally. The Skills Gap Advisor, for example, doesn't just point out where the gaps are. It actively recommends targeted learning to close them. And the Job Discovery Advisor helps employees find their next internal role, which, as we know, is a massive driver for both retention and engagement.
And finally, within recruiting, we have agents that directly support the hiring manager. The Job Requisition Health Monitor proactively flags any issues with open roles, while the Interview Guide Generator automates preparation. The Employee Replacement Assistant is particularly efficient. It can automatically kick off the process to fill a role as soon as an employee departs.
We've arrived at our final section, Core HR Operations. Think of these as the agents working behind the scenes. They're the ones powering the administrative and data backbone of the entire HCM platform, handling everything from workflows to data management and scheduling.
Now, before we look at these agents, it's worth just quickly defining what we mean by workflow automation. At its core, it's just about using technology to move tasks and information along a predefined path according to a set of rules. A classic example would be a promotion approval process. That's a perfect example of a workflow that these AI agents can manage from start to finish.
And right here, we see that concept in action. These agents are designed to automate some of the most common and critical HR workflows. The Resignation Assistant and the Promotion Advisor, for instance, can manage that entire end-to-end process, making sure all the steps are completed correctly and guiding the user along the way.
This last group of agents really serves as a set of central hubs. The worker and manager concierge agents act as a single point of contact for any inquiries, routing requests to the correct specialist agent. For more technical users, the Data Loader Advisor is there to assist with complex integrations. And for operations, the Scheduling Analyst provides a consolidated view of workforce schedules with next best actions.
So, if we bring it all together, what are the key takeaways? Well, it's clear these AI agents deliver some very tangible benefits. They automate routine tasks, they provide managers with data-driven insights, they enhance employee self-service, and they boost overall efficiency. But perhaps the biggest takeaway is this. They free up HR professionals from administrative work, allowing them to focus on more strategic, high-impact initiatives.
And that leads us to a final, and I think, very important thought. As AI gets better and better at managing processes and handling these administrative tasks, it raises a fundamental question for the profession. If the process part of the job is increasingly automated, what is the new frontier for the human in human resources? It's certainly something to think about. Thank you for joining us for this explainer.